Hi, this is Kenny Lee Roberts, and this is a story behind a song about men's mental health. It's called Lily White.
Is there anyone that kind of reached out and resonated with a song that you're like, oh, I never expected that, or resonated more with?
Yeah, I think there was a song we've done which is about sort of men's mental health, which keeps the happy theme going, obviously. Which I think that got quite a lot because guys are terrible at expressing stuff. But writing a little comment, that's all right, I can say that. So we got a lot more than expected. Guys sort of opening up about that sounds like me, to be honest. So, which is good if it can get interaction or conversation going. It's just half the battle.
Yeah, exactly. It's a seed that can be planted.
Yeah.
So what was that song?
Yeah, Lily White. That's to be honest, it's a song about, as I say, men's mental health and pretty much their inability to do anything about it because it's seen as a weakness, or it's seen as I'll just get on with it, we'll be fine, or forge on and things will be all right tomorrow. And it's not always the case. And again, it's always maybe the ones that you don't, maybe the joker, the one that's, he seems like right laugh, there's nothing wrong with him. And it hides a multitude of layers behind it, there's a lot going on, but all they see is the sort of the bravado and he's a good laugh, he's out for a few drinks and he's always the fun guy, but not necessarily, and that was, it's a case with a lot of guys, unfortunately, kind of put up this front.
Of course. How's your mental health?
Oh God, day to day, I think I'm a functioning basket case. I think, which is quite good. It's as good as it gets. I think I'm better at it. I think I used to not really recognise when you would get really burnt out, or you were really stressing over things. Or I've learned to deal with things better. I didn't recognise half the things before. I thought, well, the easiest thing to do is just mask everything with alcohol, which is always good. That works well. And then you can't remember what's annoying you. But then, of course, it doesn't solve the problem. It just sort of probably exacerbates it a bit more because you're then feeling physically lower, and it's just sort of spirals a bit. So yeah, I think it's a thing I've become more conscious of. And the older I've got, because more things happen to you, But then because of that, you try and not overthink things. I exercise, I go out running every morning, which I find is great for your mental health because it sort of just sets the day. Well, I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to worry about that. And concentrate on what's important, what's good, and what's positive. And just really try and just be aware of things, I think, more than anything else.
What was it like growing up? Because I was saying the mental health is more accepted, might not be the right word, but it's more spoken about now with the age of social media and that sort of stuff. What was it like for you growing up as a kid?
To be honest, I only have fond memories of growing up. I think when I look at it now, the differences that I see with my boys that I remember through the summer school holidays, we would disappear for hours, like 6, 7, 8 hours. We didn't have phones, got on bikes and just disappeared in the woods. Our parents thought, that's all right, he'll be back for tea.
Yeah, street lights come
on.
on.
There was no problem. The thought of me letting my boys do that now without tracking them or anything is bizarre. And again, we didn't have social media. I think that is a massive influencer on mental health for kids now, because you can be very, very direct and personal and quite vicious to people, but via a keyboard, via a phone. Which is, anybody had anything to say to me, say it to my face, which was fair enough. Wasn't overly pleasant, but at least you knew you got an instant reaction and you could deal with it. Whereas, I admire a lot of the young music artists as well, because I find it quite difficult because people will just they'll just do negative and nasty comments just to try and get a reaction. And I get that, and I'm all right. I'm old enough to listen to that. And I actually find it quite funny, quite sad sometimes. But for a young artist to be bombarded with negativity, which is uncalled for, must be very, very difficult. It must be very stressful for them. So I'm thankful, I think, that I didn't grow up in an age that was social media, because I'd probably stay in my bedroom.
What would your advice be to a young artist that's maybe getting a bit of hate online from keyboard warriors?
I wouldn't obsess with it. I think the difficulty is, and human nature is to obsess on all the negative comments, and you forget about all the nice things that are said. It might be 20 really like the track, you look great, love the album cover, saw you live, you were brilliant, and one says something horrible, and that's what they obsess on. You know, that's the only one and they keep that in their head all day, rather than all the nice things. Some people choose not to read. It's difficult. You've got to look behind the curtain, and I think it's just to process it, you know. And it's very easy to say, don't let it bother you. It's going to bother you, but just focus on the fact you're doing what you want to do. For every one person that's saying something negative, you've probably got 50 people that are on your side, love what you're doing, and the one person that's probably doing the negative comment, they've probably got a backstory which is quite sad anyhow, you know. So I wouldn't obsess with it. Just keep doing what they're doing. Just forge on.
Good.
Plenty of people have got good things to say about you.
Good.